It began with a sound that sliced through the classroom louder than any shout, the sharp, cruel snip of scissors. For a moment, time froze. The students turned to see what had happened, and then it hit them. A group of bullies had cut through Anaya's skirt, leaving the fabric dangling and her dignity hanging by a thread. The room erupted in laughter. The bullies clapped each other's shoulders, howling like they had just pulled off the funniest joke in history. But to Anaya, it was no joke. It was humiliation. It was the kind of shame that burns your skin and makes your eyes sting. She clutched her skirt, her face red, wishing she could disappear. For so long, she had endured whispers, name-calling, cruel pranks, but this was different. Anaya was the shy girl. The quiet one. The kind who walked with her head down in hallways, clutching books to her chest as though they were a shield. She rarely spoke in class, never raised her voice, never wanted to be noticed. Invisibility felt safer. But her silence also made her an easy target. And the bullies knew it. Look at her. She's too scared to even move, one of the bullies sneered. He dangled the scissors, smirking. Little mouse can't do anything. Everyone expected the same outcome they'd seen before. They expected Anaya to cry, to run, to take the humiliation quietly like she always did. But this time, something inside her broke. Or maybe it awakened. Because for the first time in years, she wasn't going to run. What no one in that classroom knew was that Anaya wasn't just a quiet, fragile girl. For the past year, she had been training in Muay Thai after school. Her father had enrolled her in classes when he noticed how broken she came home every day. She would hold back tears at the dinner table, saying everything was fine, but he could see the weight she carried. He remembered his own days of being bullied, of staying silent when he wished he could stand up. And he made a promise that his daughter wouldn't live in fear the way he once did. At first, Anaya resisted. She didn't want to fight. She didn't want to be violent. She just wanted peace. But her father told her something she would never forget: Muay Thai isn't about fighting others. It's about fighting fear inside you. It's about protecting your dignity, your voice, your life. And so she trained. Night after night, she practiced the basics: punches, kicks, knees, elbows. She learned balance, timing, and most importantly, the clinch. The clinch was the heart of Muay Thai, a way to control your opponent, to turn their strength against them. She grew stronger, faster, and more confident in ways even she didn't fully realize. But even with all that training, she never once thought she'd use it at school. Until now. Anaya straightened her back, her eyes locking with the bullies. For the first time, she wasn't looking away. Her silence wasn't fear anymore, it was fire. She stepped forward, dropping her books carefully on the desk beside her. The classroom went silent. The laughter died into whispers. Something was different. The bully waved the scissors in front of her face. "What are you gonna do, huh?" he taunted. Before he could blink, Anaya's hand shot up, gripping his shoulders in a Muay Thai clinch. She pulled him forward with surprising force, and her knee drove into his stomach with precision. The sound of air rushing out of his lungs echoed through the classroom as he collapsed, gasping. The room erupted, not with laughter this time, but with shock. No one had ever seen Anaya like this. Another bully lunged forward, trying to grab her. But she twisted, grabbed his neck in another clinch, and delivered 2 sharp knees. He stumbled back, clutching his ribs. The confidence drained from their faces, replaced with fear. The other bullies hesitated, no longer so brave. They had always thought of Anaya as the weak one, the easy target. Now, she was untouchable. Just then, the teacher stormed in, hearing the commotion. She stopped in her tracks, eyes wide at the sight of 2 bullies doubled over and Anaya standing tall, her torn skirt still clutched but her spirit unbroken. The bullies scrambled to defend themselves, sputtering excuses. "She attacked us. We didn't do anything." But the truth was impossible to hide. The witnesses spoke up. Students who had stayed quiet for so long finally found their voices. They told the teacher everything, about the scissors, the laughter, the humiliation. And for once, Anaya wasn't alone. The principal was called. The bullies faced suspension and disciplinary action. Anaya, however, was taken aside and asked to explain. She spoke softly, her voice trembling but steady. She told them she had been bullied for years, that she had never wanted to fight, but they had left her no choice. For the first time, the adults listened. But Anaya's journey didn't end that day. Because standing up once doesn't erase years of pain. She still had to walk the halls, still had to face whispers. Some students praised her, calling her brave, a fighter. Others looked at her differently, as if she had changed into someone they didn't recognize. And Anaya had changed. She wasn't the same shy girl anymore. She was still quiet, still gentle, but now she carried herself differently. She had discovered something inside her, a strength she didn't know she had. Her greatest challenge wasn't fighting the bullies. It was fighting the doubt inside herself. She had to learn that standing up didn't make her cruel, that using her strength to defend herself didn't make her violent. It made her powerful. It made her free. Over time, Anaya began to share her story. She joined an anti-bullying campaign at school, teaching others that silence isn't the answer. She even showed younger students simple self-defense moves, not to encourage fighting, but to show them they didn't have to feel powerless. She became a symbol of resilience. One afternoon, she stood in front of a classroom full of nervous younger kids. They looked at her the way she once looked at everyone else, scared, small, and alone. She smiled and said, "I used to be just like you. I thought if I stayed quiet, if I ignored the bullies, they would stop. But they never did. The day I stood up for myself was the day my life changed. Not because I fought back, but because I believed I was worth protecting. And so are you." The room was silent, but this time, it wasn't out of fear. It was respect. Anaya's story teaches something we all need to remember. Being kind doesn't mean being weak. Silence doesn't mean acceptance. And strength doesn't always mean fists, it means courage. The courage to say, enough. The courage to know your worth. So if you've ever been bullied, if you've ever felt invisible, remember this, you are stronger than you think. And the moment you decide to rise, no one can keep you down. Friends, if this story touched your heart, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Have you ever faced bullies? How did you overcome them? Your story might give courage to someone who really needs it today. And if you believe in standing up for kindness, don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to my channel. Be kind always. Together, we can make the world a place where kindness is stronger than cruelty, and where no one has to feel alone.